Hi and welcome. Erev Shabbos, Parshas Tzav, Erev Shabbos, Erev Pesach. Hashem gave us a present that we have a Shabbos before the Pesach. In general, Shabbos is a present as it says, because Shabbos is a day, it's not the regular day of the week, it's a day that we do look into ourselves, we prepare ourselves, we meditate, we connect to Hashem, connect to holiness, and we feel peaceful. We feel pieces of Gan Eden, as it says in many Torahs. Me'einu ilam haba. Here, Hashem is giving us a present before such a great Yontiv, which is coming, the Yontiv of Pesach. He's giving us a Shabbos in order to prepare even better and deeper for this holy Yontiv. So first of all, we're going to be learning Parshas Tzav, which is this week's Parsha. And this is based on a Sikha of the Lubavitcher Rebbe Zechron Livracha, on the Pasuk which says, it's a very famous Pasuk, and Baal Shem Tov talks about it, and Mazrit Shemagi talks about it, and many Tzadikim, Reb Melech talks about it. Ve'eish hamizbeach tikhad boy loy sichbe. It means there were two mizbeches in the Beis Mikdash, in the Mishkan. One was inside the Beis Mikdash, and one was the outside. And it says the fire that is burning on the mizbeach, on the altar, should never go out, and it's brought down in the Yerushalmi even on Shabbos. We know that Shabbos we don't put the fire, but on the fire from mizbeach does not go out even on Shabbos. Because Shabbos is a day of rest, so he's coming to tell us, yes, we need it. So as we know, in all the lately Parshas, we were talking and reading about the Mishkan. And the Torah gives so much space for the Mishkan, so many Parshas still in Shemois, at the end of Shemois. And then when we go into Vayikra, we start talking about the Karbonos, the sacrifices that was in the Mishkan. So it's a huge, but where is it relevant today? As we know that we are all have our own Mishkan within ourselves, and our inner hearts and outer hearts, our inner layer and our layer of the heart is the inner Mizbeach and the outer Mizbeach. And everything that was in the Mishkan resembles to a person, is put together. There's a lot of talk about it, but we're gonna not elaborate on everything because we don't have time for everything. But we'll go here to the point that the fire that is burning is really the fire that is burning in our heart. And it also says in the Yerushalmi that fire, not only Shabbos you shouldn't, even when the Jews are in impurity, they're not pure at the moment, still it should burn, it must burn. And how did this fire start? They started it down here, a person was putting it on, and then it came down min hashamayim, from above, a fire. Why did we need two fires? We'll talk about it soon. But what do we see? And we see that the Reb Melech says when a person has, his heart is telling him to do, not to be righteous and everything. If he says this pasuk, ve'esham is bayach tiket bo'lo yisirbe, that will bring him back to, let's say, in channel, connecting to Hashem, as connecting to the satellite, connecting to source. So we see that this really goes on. That fire is the resemblance to our heart. And even when our hearts are not pure, or we feel impure, you should know that the fire is still there. And with a little of other fire, when you blow on a fire, it lights back up. With a little of self-love, or love to someone else, or love to someone that thinks that needs it, like the Baal Shem Tov says, the biggest cure is only through love. And especially in today's days where there's so much pain in the world, only with love, that is the cure. So the fire should keep on burning, even though when you're impure, even though it's Shabbos, it's a time that you don't do nothing. That fire has to burn. That fire is meant to stay, and it's always there. As the Maggid of Mezritch says in a phrase we saw, and he twists the pasuk and he says, Because we know it says, it shall not, instead of reading the phrase, it shall not put out, we can read it, it shall not put out the not, meaning to say the no, the negativity. The fire should take away the negativity. It says, instead of saying it should not put out the fire, it says, no, that fire should put out the not, or tells you to be impure, or what tells you to judge someone else, or to see someone else impure. There's always a fire in every Jew's heart, no matter which way he looks, whichever way they go dressed, whichever way where they belong, or where they live, or where they are, or where they're not. Still see them as that fire of the altar, and it's there, it's burning, and blow that wind, that love, that will rekindle that fire. Going into Pesach, we know that Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron HaKohen went to Paro and said, let my people go. And Paro says, please mind your own business, go to your work. Go to your business, he said. What does he mean with that? Because Moshe and Aaron were from Shevet Levi, they didn't work. Paro was clever, says, go mind your own business, do your thing. You're giving classes, you're good with that, with the teaching, that's enough. And Moshe and Aaron said, no, we will not rest. We need to pull out the Yidden from Mitzrayim. We need everybody from their heart, from their constricted spaces, again, with love, with connection. And they didn't look that they have to, it's not enough that they're going to only learn or learn for themselves, do their own mitzvahs. No, they were caring for someone else, another Jew. And the Jews not all of them were at their best. They felt very down, in a place of Vayonchi. They were crying, they were in a much deeper crying, in something they were feeling unworthy. What was the job for Moshe and Aaron? To tell them, my brothers and sisters, you're all worthy, no matter who you are, how you look, what you do. And this is the fight that Moshe and Aaron had with Paro. No, don't tell us, our avodah, that we need to go daven now and learn because Shevet Levi was busy in Besmedish. We will not go to Besmedish. We are going to pour love over these Jews. We're going to take them out from their constrictions, from all of their heartaches. This is what Pesach is, and that's what Hashem did with us. Took us out from Mitzrayim, took us out from all the heartaches, all the restrictions that we had. And that was in the end of the day. If you can see in my WhatsApp status, I posted, I don't want to hold anybody up, it's Erev Yontov, the story of Reb Nachman about the Jew and the German that went to someone to eat the maror, and the end of the day, the German went out and said, what kind of meal did you invite me to? They're giving a piece of potato, this, and here a piece of cracker, no taste, and a piece of maror. He ran out. He said, Jew, you fooled me. And the Jew said to him, I didn't fool you, because they were both beggars. They were looking for food. He says, no, if you would have waited a little bit longer, you would see that there was coming a big meal. We should all know that even though we all go through our heartaches and our pains, but in the end of the day, we will get to the big meal. Hashem should give you all bracha and give us all bracha and b'chol mukim shehem, and all over the world, all Yidden b'chol mukim shehem in the entire world. You should come out from this Pesach together with Mashiach Tzidkeni b'mheri b'yimeni. Amen.